In this video, we will be giving you guys our Game Week 15 predictions of the English Premier League. Choose the picks you agree with and remember to bet responsibly. The Premier League is back in action with another edition of the Merseyside Derby this weekend as Everton lock horns with Arne Slot's Liverpool side in a crucial encounter at Goodison Park on Saturday. Everton are in 15th place in the Premier League standings and have not been at their best this season. The Toffees eased past Wolverhampton Wanderers by a comprehensive 4-0 scoreline in their previous game and will look to achieve a similar result this weekend. Liverpool, on the other hand, are at the top of the league table and have been in impressive form this season. The away side played out a disappointing 3-3 draw against Newcastle United last week and will need to take it up a notch in this fixture. Liverpool have a formidable squad at their disposal and have been in excellent form under Arne Slot. The likes of Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz can be lethal on their day and will look to make their mark this weekend. Everton can pack a punch on their day but have been inconsistent this season. Liverpool are the better team and should be able to win this game. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game because Everton are going to defend the best they could to keep Liverpool from scoring. So I'm going to go for 2-0 Liverpool win, and my betting tip is Liverpool team total over 6.5 corners. Southampton take on Unai Emery's Aston Villa side in an important encounter at Villa Park on Saturday. The two teams have experienced contrasting fortunes this season and will want to win this game. Southampton are rooted to the bottom of the Premier League standings and have struggled over the past year. The Saints slumped to a damaging 5-1 defeat at the hands of Chelsea in their previous game and will need to bounce back this weekend. Aston Villa, on the other hand, are in 8th place in the league table and have been inconsistent this season. The home side eased past Brentford by a 3-1 scoreline this week and will be confident ahead of this fixture. Aston Villa have a good squad at their disposal and have shown marked improvement under Unai Emery. The hosts are yet to hit their peak this season and will need to step up to the plate on Saturday. Southampton have struggled this season and are in desperate need of a shot in the arm. Aston Villa are the better team and should be able to win this game at home. So my prediction for this game is anytime goal scorer to be Ollie Watkins. Brentford play host to Newcastle United in a Premier League game at the G-Tech Stadium this Saturday. Both of these teams are currently on 20 points, with Brentford sitting in 9th, one spot above 10th placed Newcastle on goal difference. With the constricted nature of the Premier League table right now, though, the winners of this one could move as high as 5th depending on other results. So, who will come out on top this weekend? Brentford's huge swings in form this season make them a difficult team to predict, meaning you can basically discount their loss to Aston Villa already. Against Newcastle, then, they'll enjoy the home advantage, something that has proven to be key for them all season. Few teams are as good at home as the Bees and few are capable of scoring as many goals. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, and my betting tip is both teams to score. Crystal Palace lock horns with Pep Guardiola's Manchester City side in an important encounter at Selhurst Park on Saturday. Both teams have been inconsistent this season and will want to win this game. Manchester City are currently in 4th place in the Premier League standings and have not been at their best so far this season. The away side eased past Nottingham Forest by a comfortable 3-0 margin this week and will be confident ahead of this fixture. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, are in 17th place in the league table at the moment and have struggled so far this season. The Eagles edged Ipswich Town to a narrow 1-0 victory in their previous game and will look to achieve a similar result this weekend. Manchester City have blown hot and cold this season but gave a good account of themselves against Nottingham Forest this week. Kevin De Bruyne marked his return with a goal and an assist and will look to make an impact yet again on Saturday. Crystal Palace are in poor form at the moment and cannot afford to put a foot wrong this weekend. Manchester City are the better team on paper and should be able to win this game. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Manchester City win, and my betting tip is Man City team total over 6.5 corners. Manchester United and Nottingham Forest will endeavour to bounce back from midweek defeats when they lock horns at Old Trafford on Saturday evening. The two teams meet for the first time since February when the Red Devils claimed a narrow 1-0 victory at the City Ground in the FA Cup fifth round, courtesy of a late header from Casemiro. Both teams will be keen to make a swift return to winning ways following their midweek losses, particularly Man United on home soil, as they can ill afford to fall further behind in the race for the top four. Forest have the attackers at their disposal to cause Man United problems on the counter-attack, but the Red Devils have impressed on home soil in recent weeks and should find a way to come out on top, potentially keeping a clean sheet in the process. My pick is Man United team total over 1.5 goals. Fulham and Arsenal are gearing up for an exciting Premier League clash at Craven Cottage this Sunday afternoon, with both teams eager to extend their winning form in this all-London derby. Building on midweek victories will be a challenge for both sides, adding to the anticipation surrounding this encounter. Fulham approached the game on the back of a solid 3-1 win against Brighton, following a 1-1 draw with Tottenham. These results have propelled Marco Silva's team to 6th place in the league standings, highlighting their strong start to the season. Arsenal, meanwhile, continue their upward trajectory with a convincing 2-0 triumph over Manchester United. This win has narrowed the gap between Mikel Arteta's squad and league leaders Liverpool to 7 points. However, Liverpool have the opportunity to temporarily widen their lead if they secure a victory in the Merseyside derby against Everton on Saturday. My prediction for this game is match total over 8.5 corners. Following back-to-back defeats to Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace, Ipswich Town will look to give fans some cheer when they take on Bournemouth in the Premier League Round 15. The Tractor Boys are still sitting in the relegation zone, but Sunday's clash could be the turning point for the home side. The Cherries, on the other hand, aim to build on back-to-back wins over Wolverhampton and Tottenham. Bournemouth have a chance to climb to the Conference League berth, and given Ipswich's dip in form, we predict that the visitors are going to emerge triumphant in Sunday's encounter. Ipswich Town and Bournemouth will meet at Portman Road in the early kickoff on Sunday afternoon in the Premier League. The Tractor Boys are 18th in the league standings while the Cherries are 9th after the first 14 games. My prediction for this game is Ipswich team total over 4.5 corner kicks. Looking to preserve their 100% record since the arrival of Ruud van Nistelrooy, Leicester City will welcome Brighton and Hove Albion to the King Power Stadium for a Premier League battle on Sunday afternoon. The Foxes managed a 3-1 success over out-of-form West Ham United in the East Midlands on Tuesday night, whilst the Seagulls' poor run against Fulham continued at Craven Cottage 2 days later. Despite the comfortable-looking scoreline, Leicester rode their luck at times against West Ham and will not be able to get away with conceding countless shots for a second time this week. Brighton were arguably the better side at Craven Cottage on Thursday night and should be able to return to winning ways at the home of the Foxes. Leicester City usually do not leave to pitch without scoring, and Brighton have also seen a couple of goals in their previous encounters. So my prediction for this game is both teams to score. On the back of contrasting performances on the South Coast, London rivals Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea headline Sunday's Premier League fixture list with a mouth-watering derby at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. While Enzo Maresca's men made extremely light work of Southampton in a 5-1 midweek mauling, their hosts were fortunate to only lose by a narrow margin in their 1-0 reverse at Bournemouth. As Tottenham may be working with just one fit centre-back and a day's less rest than their opponents, the home faithful may resign themselves to a repeat of last year's home humbling at the hands of Chelsea. Postecoglou's men were highly fortunate to only concede once on Bournemouth's turf, but a goal-happy Chelsea should not make the same attacking mistakes the Cherries did at one of their happiest hunting grounds. This game will be rich in both corners and goals. So my prediction for this encounter is first half total over 4.5 corners. Julian Lopetegui and Gary O'Neill are fighting for their futures at their respective clubs as West Ham United take on Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League on Monday night. West Ham were trashed 3-1 on the hands of Leicester City in their previous EPL outing and will need to improve on that form. Wolves, on the other hand, took even more disgracing results on their last outing to Everton, suffering a damaging 4-0 loss and have a point to prove heading into this encounter. Whenever you see Wolves, then that match is gonna scream goals. So my prediction for this encounter is total over 2.5 goals.